Okay guys, here's our next little project. A 1010 Mcculloch, one of the early ones that's the right hand start, which is sort of cool because I don't have one. So now I'll have three of these bad boys. I'll have the right hand start, and then I'll have a regular 1010, and then a Pro Mac 1010. So yeah, then I'll have a trio of them. But anyways, this guy I haven't started yet. It's one I got with a batch of saws last summer. So yeah, I haven't ran her yet, so let's go through it and see if we can get her running. I got some stuff for it. I got a spike for it. Got some new bar plates from Little Red Barn. Got a carb kit. And then I had a nice bar here, and then I got a new chain for that. So I think we got everything we need, except for my little chrome acorn nuts that I want to put on for the bar plate. So anyways, all right, let's check it out, see what she looks like. Okay guys, so yeah, today we're gonna work on this 1010, the right hand start 1010, which I think the early 10 series saws were all right hand start like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I don't know why they decided to put the starter on the same side as the clutch, because it just, you know, it's just more stuff going on one side, and then you got nothing going on the other side, just the flywheel over there. So I mean, I can see why they eventually switched the starter to the other side. But yeah, so not only do you have the clutch in here, you got the pawls for the starter too. So that's pretty crazy. And then yeah, see, there's the starter, and it seems to be working good. It has this plate that goes in there. So yeah, sort of different. And then the other side just looks nice and clean with a cover. No starter. So that's why I like this one, because it's one that I don't have. It's another version, another variation of the 1010. So first thing I wanted to do, before I even know if it's gonna run or not, let's put these spikes on, because it's just killing me that it doesn't have a spike. And see, these things, there's no holes. But look on the back, they're there. See, it even has the little recesses to capture the nuts. So all you have to do is just finish drilling it out. So let's do that real quick. Yeah, and then we'll put the proper dog spike on there. How could you have a saw without a dog spike? For God's sake. So yeah, let's drill those out. So yeah, that's like the first thing I wanted to do. So that's what we're going to do. Who cares if it runs or not? I want to have dog spikes. All right. There we go. Now, let's get him on there. Make a proper saw out of this thing. Yeah, and I got the dog spike from on eBay. There's a guy on there called Cheap Chainsaw Parts. He has all this stuff. Oh yeah, perfection. And then, so yeah, see the little nuts. I think I got the right size nuts here to fit in there. Oh yeah, perfect. So yeah, Mcculloch they were thinking all of their saws are like that, where they have the little indentations in the back to capture the nut. Very smart, very smart. Put this one on. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Gotta have a dog spike. There. Now it's a proper saw. Nice. Okay. And this thing, the starter actually moves pretty nice in this thing. I put a little oil in it before, so I ain't taking it apart. She looks good. The adjuster all looks good in working order. So yeah, I think the starter is good to go. Just got to get my little chrome acorn nuts. I'll go to the hardware store later and get some of those. Okay, starter's done. So yeah, next step. Let's pull the muffler on this thing and see how she looks in there as far as carbon and all that. Okay, found a socket. Yeah, see, this one's missing the, it's missing the plastic insert that goes in the handle. That blows. Those are sort of hard to find too, because a lot of them are broke. So let's take this handle off. Jeez, that thing was in there. Had to use my impact screwdriver to break it loose. Honestly. She's loose now though. So yeah, this thing's definitely not been apart since she was new, I'm guessing. Need to get this side cover off for cleaning purposes anyways. See how much dirt is stuck in there, and then yeah, you have to take that side cover off to get the bottom off anyways. Yeah, see, it's got the same screw holes and everything as the left-hand start saw. I wonder if you could convert one of these to left-hand start. I suppose you could if you changed the flywheel, maybe. That'd be interesting. But then it wouldn't be the unique right-hand start. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, not too bad. She's fairly clean, actually. Nice. Wow. So yeah, we'll give that a blowout while we got it apart. Okay, now we can take the bottom cover off. And the handle. Oh, she opened up on her own. Oh, the bolts were loose. The muffler bolts were loose. Or one of them is anyways. Interesting. That's why it's always a good idea to go over these things. I'd take this cover all the way off, but you have to take the tank and everything off to get it off. So I'm not getting that crazy. We just want to look in there and see what the piston looks like. There we go. Here's our muffler. Ooh. Lots of carbon inside. Let's take a look in there, see what she looks like. Oh yeah, looks pretty good. She's got some carbon in there, but not too bad. Here, I'll try to show you guys. See, it's not too bad in there. So, let me get this muffler cleaned up. And I'll clean that out a little bit in there, and then we'll move on to the next phase. See if we got spark. Okay, so I got the muffler back on. That's all good. And I was going to show you one of these holes I was struggling with for the side cover. And this is how all these 1010s are, but so see right here, this hole right here, this sheet metal gets out of alignment, and then you'll fight like the devil. you'll fight like the devil trying to get the side on, see? So you got to get that sheet metal lined up. So tweak it or bend it or whatever you got to do to where it lines up better. So just a little pointer there. Okay guys, now I got that side cover back on, see? Now let's see if we got spark. So we'll put our spark plug in here, ground it out, make sure we're spinning the right way. Ready? Oh yeah! Good spark. Nice. Let's see if the ignition switch works. Put it in the off position. Alright, no spark. Back on. Oh yeah, sparkage. Okay, that's good. Should we do a compression test too? Ah, what the heck. Let's do a little compression check. It had some oil in the cylinder, so that was good. It looked nice and wet in there, or oily anyways. So yeah, let's do a compression check just for the heck of it. Get down here on the ground. Oh crap. I guess we can't do a compression check because I got there's no starter on this side. Oh man. Alright. Hold on. That's the only weird thing about these things, that yeah, the starter's on the wrong side. So you gotta do everything. We'll just throw the starter on it real quick. Put one nut on to hold her. Oh yeah. She's got good compression. 150. Nice. Okay. All we got left is fuel. So yeah, that's how I usually like to do these things, is take them apart, clean them, check compression, check the piston, make sure it looks good, check for spark, and then we'll see what our fuel system looks like. So, let me put that bottom part of the handle on and then we'll do that. Okay, moving on to the fuel system. Let's take a look. Cover. And this has one of those funky filters that are hard to find. She's got some flocking missing, but we'll see if we can find a nicer one later. Let's take a look. The fuel line looks really good. Nice and supple. Let's see what the inside of the tank looks like. Oh yeah, she looks nice and clean in there. Yeah, the fuel line looks good. It even has the original little felt filter on the end, so I ain't gonna mess with that. Whoop. We're gonna leave it. Should be just fine. Okay, so now all we gotta do is pop the carb off and we'll put a kit in it. Since I got one. So let's get those bolts out of there. And I'll show you a trick on it. So on the linkage on these 1010s, if you take the choke off first like that, then everything else just sort of comes loose once you get the carburetor loose. Yeah, these things are really easy to work on. So yeah, you just take those bolts out. Oh yeah, she's never been off of there. She's stuck. There she goes. Oh, and then watch out. There's There's little spacers underneath this. They just popped off. I'll show you in a sec here. So yeah, once you get her unbolted, then you can unhook the choke side. Over here, you gotta sort of stretch it a little bit, like that, see? Then you can undo the... Now let's see if we can get this fuel line off without tearing it up. There we go. There, then the other linkage just falls off. There's your carb. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, looks good, looks good. Piston looks really clean in there. So I always like to put something in the hole so you don't drop crap in there. We'll put a little paper towel in there, and then see, here's these two washers. Those actually go underneath this thing. So I'll slip those back on there just so I don't lose them. Okay. Okay guys, let's take a look at this carburetor. Ooh, look at that. It's one of the cool ones with the Mcculloch logo on it. So we got our kit here, and the first thing I noticed is there's no return spring on this thing. It's supposed to have a little return spring right here. See how it just flops around? So the only thing that returns the throttle is the linkage, and that ain't good. So luckily, this fancy kit that I got off of eBay comes with the return springs and everything. That's cool. So let's take a look here. Let's strip this bad boy down. So yeah, before, when I'd get a chainsaw, I'd try to see if it was running, if it would run, you know, without messing with the carburetor. And sometimes they did, and sometimes they don't. But anymore, I think a guy is just better off just putting a kit in it anyways, because even if it runs, it's not going to run the best, and it's not going to tune right. So do the kit, do yourself a favor, put a kit in. Oh yeah, see that one's, it's sort of soft, but it's pretty stiff. It smells sort of old, but it doesn't smell terribly old. And I always like to check the order of the gasket because I always get messed up, so I'm just going to leave that there because the diaphragm part goes against the body, and then there's another little gasket that goes on top of that. So I'm just going to leave that right there. So here's the screen, and it actually looks pretty clean. See that? Nice and clean in there. This thing probably would have ran without messing with it, but we might as well check it out. Might as well. And this is the diaphragm, or the metering side. Yeah, it's pretty stiff. It probably would have ran, but not the greatest. And then the fuel on these carburetors, they have these two little, see these two little steps right here? And the metering thing has to be the same height as that. Just level with that. And it looks like it's just a little bit high. Yeah, the needle looks like it moves free. So we'll take it apart and take a look. Oh, the other thing I like to look at. So see, this is the good carb. This is the 2-jet carb. Remember, some of these Mccullochs came with a single jet carb, and so they're not as desirable, because I think the high jet was fixed on those single jet ones. So anyways, so this is your idle adjustment, the idle speed, and then this is your low, and then this is your high. And I want to see, I always like to look and see where it was at, so let's turn this in and see where it's at. So the low was half, 1. So the low was in like 1 1/4 turns. Oops. Let's see where the high was. Half, 1, half. So it was like 1 1/2 turns. So this thing was probably running okay. Seems like she was probably running healthy, I bet. So we'll take the needles out. Make sure we get everything clean in there. And so you can't screw it up because one's longer than the other. This gasket looks sort of roached. But we got one in here. So let's see if that'll peel off. Yuck. I'll scrape that off. Let's take the needle and seed out. Or the needle anyways. Take a look at it. Or actually, we might as well replace it. It comes with a new one. Spring. The spring is a real pain in the butt if you lose that. That's the nice thing. This deluxe kit, I think it even comes with that. Oh yeah, it does. See? Look at that. Wow. It came with everything. Okay, so we got that off. I need to scrape this old gasket off. So let me do that. Let me go spray this out, get it clean, and then I'll come back. And Bixby, every time I touch that damn thing, the Bixby comes on. I hate that. Okay. So let's start putting this thing back together. First, we gotta put our little return spring on. Where are you? Here she is. Yeah, that's crazy. It's gone. Gone, I say. So you just take this center screw out. Come on. Take the little throttle plate out. And then there's another little retainer on this end. Some of them have C-clips and some of them have this retainer thing. Boom, that guy. Now you can take this out, your throttle shaft, and then the spring goes on here somehow. Something to that effect. Okay, finally I got that frickin' screw in there. Now I can put this clip in. So that's our retainer. Okay. What now? What's the problem? The hell? Okay guys, watch the positioning of this throttle plate. There's a little bump right here. And if you don't get that on the right side of the shaft, it'll screw everything up. So make sure you get this in the right spot. There. That seems right. And then make sure that that screw is good and tight. Good and tight. You don't want that screw coming off and going in the motor. In fact, you could probably put a little Loctite on it if you wanted to. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the fuel pump side. We need this one and this one. And some of them have this one too. I'm not sure what the difference is. But I'm just gonna go with what it had in it before, So this guy had this first. So that goes there. Let me dissect this just to make sure, yep, that's all it's got. And then this goes here. And then our cover, make sure you get the round part here. And it has little locating pins, which is sort of nice. So we'll get that side together. Okay, so yeah, so this goes here. Just double check, and I always double check. And then for our initial setting, we'll just do 1.5 turns out on both. That seems good. So let's drop our needle in. And then we'll put the spring in here. Yeah, that's cool. They give you everything on those kits. Okay, let's see where we're at. Make sure it's all centered up. And you know what you can do is you can take and use it as a gauge like this. See? It just fits right on those. So see, it could come up just a little bit, just a tiny bit. That's good. Make sure it moves freely. Okay. Then when you go to put the diaphragm on, make sure this hooks into the little fork. Has to hook in. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is the ones that doesn't have the hook. Never mind. The same, just without the hooky. I put one of these kits in one of the other ones and they run fine, so it's weird some of them have the hook and some don't. Okay, so there's that. Oh no, wait a minute. See, I screwed up already. This goes first. This goes first. That's where you can get screwed up. And then flop this in. There. And put our cover on. Okay, we should be ready. We'll put this together and then I'll put it back on the saw with a new base gasket. And then we'll see if it runs. Okay. Okay guys, I got the carburetor back on. Let's see if she's gonna run. I can already see that I got a fuel leak in the tank's leaking, which is pretty common on these. The seal on the top cover leaks, so I'm gonna have to address that. But let's just see if she runs. Yeah, I'll have to pop the top of that tank off and put some moto seal or something on it. But yeah, let's see if she runs. Oh wow. I just noticed these early Mac 1010s, they don't have a throttle lock. Interesting. Okay, let's give her a little drink and see if it goes. Come on. Might have to do the old hold the throttle open deal. She's trying to run. Okay, finally got the little guy to run. It was a little too fat on the low end, so it's flooding it out. So yeah, check this out. She's a runner. Oh. Nice. Okay, so yeah, let me get my GoPro out and we'll take it out. We'll put the bar and chain on. We'll take it out and give her a little tune. Okay guys, here we go. Got the bar and chain on her. Got my fancy acorn nuts on there, the Cromans. So yeah, let's see if we can get this thing tuned and see if she'll run. All right, she runs good. There she is, guys. Another 1010 back in action. Okay. So now I can get all three of them together and have a cackle fest on the next video. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you then.